something YouTube. We shout about the Skool community, add loads of value. They then come through to a paid Skool group. And
well, let's show people. Let's show people. And while I pull this up, you want to tell everybody what your group's about, just in like a minute?
Yeah, sure. So my Skool community is about AI automations. So we help people make money, automate their business, and learn. Some of the outcomes that we drive is to get people their first dollar, the first few thousands of dollars of AI, or their first automation. And we just help them rock and roll, have a great time, learn and crush it, basically.
So AI Jack doesn't come up. So what do I search for?
Jack Roberts. I think AI Jack was something that Sam actually created. There you go. That's one.
I love it though.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it. It just sort of found me a little bit.
Yeah, that's how greatness is. Okay, so here we go. So everybody can see it. All right. And so you're doing, so you're doing a decent amount of volume. So you're doing what, 3 or 4 a week right now?
Yeah, cadence now is 4 a week. Previously it was like 2.5 a week. So just up that.
Okay, got it. And so, here we go. All right, let's skip through this real quick. And if those of you are curious, why do I have ads turned on? I like having ads so I can see what people are doing. I get little trends here. Okay, so let's talk about the good stuff, and we'll talk about potential ideas. So right off the bat, having link above the fold, you saw before I even clicked it, it was there. So for everybody else who's watching or listening, that is great thing number one. What are all these ones?
Well, basically, this is resources that you need for the video. So like any softwares I recommend or like tools you need to crush it, you just find the links in the description.
Okay, build your first AI employee. Let's see how it goes. So since you're primarily YouTube, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the actual videos, and then we'll follow kind of the link path over. All right, let me share it so you guys can hear volume.
Can I make a recommendation? Go with the latest video. That one was a little bit of a unique one, so that it wouldn't be a representative example. So if you go to
this one?
Just go to videos and latest.
This one?
Cool. And then just the first one. Yeah, that's perfect. Hey, VA, I fancy Nando's. Do me a favor, list every single Nando's that exists in Leeds and their addresses. Thanks. We test the workflow, and check this out, guys. I come over, goes AI agent, he checks the model, he's going to check with the SERP API, and look at the response that we get back. Right there, every single Nando's we've got, the city centre, Kirkstall, and how it works. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a very simple AI agent in N8N. I'm going to show you how we can add a very easy to use RAG retrieval system, and also how we can update any document we wish to this database so that you can recall it at any time you want to. Now, this is going to look really different than Meg, so I want to explain briefly, start with an overview of what we're going to cover, why we're covering it, and then I'm going to show you step by step how you can build this system with memory, with RAG retrieval, and as simple terms as humanly possible. So if you follow it step by step, you'll be able to use this system. Now, in my last video, I showed you a full system of how to build an AI agent in Meg.com. Now, one of the really big differences between Meg.com and N8N.
Okay, so I would probably repeat title as soon as humanly possible rather than starting with the Nando's thing. Just because if I'm coming in cold, I'm like, wait, is this like, what am I, like, what did I just click into? So I would just look for congruence. We push on that a lot. I've also added another P to my kind of like P's framework of proof, promise, plan. There's 2 more. One is picture. So I want to add basically a visual roadmap that goes along with this so that people know what's happening. Because like, I think you pulled up this little guy here. Here we go. There we go. Shit. Where was it? I also probably wouldn't mention the last video because it's not as relevant for me as a new viewer. So here we go. So was this is this supposed to be the roadmap?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So I think if you could at the very least highlight, like even just using your cursor, like just from a lo-fi perspective, if you could highlight each of the points that you're talking about, because I see this and I didn't know this was the roadmap. And so this is also way too much text for somebody to like comprehend. And so like normally, a couple words is all that people can like actually like take in per time. So right into repetition of the headline, which also means that you're going to probably start with your headline and packaging first, which are you doing that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you'll have your packaging, you'll have your headline, and so you'll know that that's how you're going to start it. But I would think ahead of time of, if these are going to be the benchmarks that I'm having in the video, like I want to say that and show them that roadmap basically as soon as I can after I hit the other P's. So the proof part, I think that you had with the Nando's thing, I think that I'm guessing that was an element of proof. I would just put it a little bit later because I'm talking like 15 seconds, you know what I mean? Just a little bit later. And as anal as this sounds, like, you know how much intros matter. Like intros are everything. We spend like an ungodly amount of time on our introductions. The other piece is that you can mention pain. And so I've updated mine with 5 Ps instead of 3. So as proof, promise, plan was what I started with originally. I've since then added picture and pain. And so pain and promise go hand in hand. So it's not just here's the good stuff you're going to get, but here's the bad stuff this will help you avoid. So it hits both sides of motivation. And just for everybody else who's listening to this is just like kind of like general persuasion it's general persuasion and makes good content. So those are like, it's the same laws of behavior. We want to reinforce them staying along with us. More good stuff and less bad stuff are both good, you know what I mean, in terms of outcomes. And so a lot of this is what we're leveraging is clarity over like cleverness. Okay, cool, let's get, I'm going to watch a different one real quick, just to give you, is this one normal?
The one to the right of that?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
What exciting benefits do you get as a Hertz Gold Plus Rewards member?
You get to skip the line and go right to your car.
Tom Brady made
Hey, real quick, I want to show you something. Do you want to see the worst sales presentation ever? Check this out.
Hey, do me a favor, book me an appointment with Matthew next Tuesday. Let's call the appointment MacBook review, and just the agenda is going to be about buying MacBooks and whether or not we should go with Windows or Mac. Yeah, that's everything. Thanks. Guys, I just sent a voice note to my VA, my agentic VA, that you can see right now exactly how this works. This is just one of many capabilities that we can do with this, and you're going to see right now, it's going to go down, it's booked an appointment, and if I check, right here, look at this, guys. Your appointment's been successfully scheduled, it's about MacBook review, here's the agenda, here's the date, the time, and who's actually going to be attending, and everything like that. And what this has done, guys, go on to Google Meets and book me an appointment with Matthew. It knows who Matthew is, it's got all that data, and it'll do millions of tasks like this for you completely automatically. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a completely no-code AI agent system. I'm going to show you exactly how you do it step by step. So if you follow this video from now all the way to the end, you'll have a working system that can do really epic stuff for you, just like that. Now, I want to start and basically do 4 things. I want to give you an overview of what it does. I want to show you triggers we can do, and for that, we're going to do WhatsApp, we're going to do Telegram.
Yeah, so same thing here. I would be highlighting, I'd get I'd zoom way more into it and just say like, here's where we're going to go. It's a small thing, but I think it'll help people with milestones in the video. I would experiment, because I'm guessing you always start with this demonstration up front, because if that's...
No, that's just, these 2 videos are the same thing on different technologies. That's, the other videos have very different openings, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So the integrations that you're making right now, do you know where they are?
With integrations, what do you mean? Do you mean like...
So you showing the Skool community?
I don't specific, like in some videos, if you go to the channel, I'll show you a good example. Like sometimes I'll pull up the Skool community as part of it and say, hey, by the way, everything, this is what we do in the channel, this is all about type of thing. But in most videos, no, I don't pull the Skool community in every single one. But typically, like prior to this video, I did, but not all of them.
Okay, so I would recommend before you make the videos, figure out what integrations you're going to make. So here's the difference. So for everybody who's listening to this, especially if you make content, the difference is not that we're going to make a call to action. So we're not making a call to action. We just want to demonstrate your concepts using your tools and products, right? And so if for example, you saw the recent, probably if you've seen any of the last like 10 videos that I put out, I used to do this like, hey, by the way, I have these books, you can go check them out, right? And I was like, why am I doing this? I talk about the shit that's in my books. And so I just started pulling my books over, opening to the page and being like, hey, so what I'm talking about right now is one of these 3 frameworks. This is the framework we're talking about. Here's how it applies. And then I don't need to say, hey, go buy the book. It's just like anybody who's like watching immediately was like, oh, wow, I kind of want to know what's inside, what else is in the book, right? And so I think if you were to say, like, just be like, yeah, so I'm going to go over to my Skool community. I'm going to grab this file. This is kind of the roadmap that we're going to use. And then like unclick over, and then you go into it. it'll be really seamless. And the nice thing is you can add it, like you can add way more of these than you can of like a right hook. And so as soon as we started doing this, my book sales tripled. And I'm not even making any CTAs. And so I think integrating it like that, and like every video, I don't know if you have a checklist for your videos, but I would encourage you to have one, or your team or whoever helps you out, of like, obviously we're going to, you know, we have your 5 Ps: proof, promise, plan, picture, and picture, right? And then as you get into it, it's like, what are going to be my 1 or 2 integrations? If you know what you're going to talk about, then you can just plan when you're going to, you'll have the page, you know, you'll have the page pulled up when you get to that section. You pull it up, you click it, and then you're right back, right? So it's not like, it's not right hooky, it's not weird.
That's helpful, because I've done that like intermittently, but like I don't do it like religiously every video. So that's good to add to the checklist, I think.
Yeah, I think adding it, like being discreet about it, being purposeful about being subtle.
Yeah,
I think is kind of the goal. Okay. Okay, so you got your pinned comment. That's good. You have this one, which is great. Okay, so we have these two, which are those are the 2 big ones. Obviously, the integration is actually going to be the one that drives the most, in my opinion. But these 2 are key. Okay, so without going through more of this, because I want to be mindful of time. Okay, so let's click over. So let's say I like this thing. Great. And do you have a universal description for all your videos, I'm guessing?
I just changed the description. Yeah, it's like just the tools change.
Okay, because so the advantage is if you keep it unique, like you don't mass change your descriptions, you can make your call to action in the description contextual to the iteration.
Okay.
Right, so like, it's just like in the video, it's like you're making the integration contextual, because it doesn't feel like an ask, because you're talking about whatever this topic is, and so that it naturally leads to the product that you have that includes that thing. And so we just want to basically keep it congruent with the other CTAs that you have. If you had told me, just for everybody else, if you had told me that you mass change them, which by the way, if you don't know, you can do that, which is great. The pinned comment is where you can keep it contextual, because that's not going to get changed when you do the mass like deletion and then like substitution on your descriptions. Does that make sense?
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So like the CTA in the comment would be contextual to the video, but then the standard one description. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, if you liked that map version of this, it's in the 2nd module of my community. Arrow. And it's like, because now it's like, because people don't want to join the community. They want whatever you just showed them. So it's like, hey, here's that thing I just showed you. Go here if you want it. And I think it'll convert better because you just made it relevant.
That's really nice.
Okay. So those are just like very quick off the cuff things that we can do to improve it. If I were to do any more time, how are you picking your topics for YouTube?
So some driven by the community, other research, I'll check out like what everybody in the space is making and just try to make like new, fresh or big things. So it's a mix of like stuff I want to make, stuff that I'm hearing from the community, and then I'll just take a look at what's on YouTube, what's on different platforms, and then try to plan out like 3 or 4 videos based on that.
Where's the... So it's like, let's look for search. We use one of, actually, I wonder if I still have my thing turned on. Hold on, let me check real quick. So by the way, for those of you who don't know, that tool that I just pulled up is free. Are you familiar with that, Jack?
No, I'm not. I don't use that actually.
Let me see if I can log into this thing.
I think that's one of the areas we need to be better at is getting scientific with like the topics and the ideas.
Yeah, so you can't, where's my damn thing? This is annoying. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's go longs. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see my screen. I'm raising my own hand. Kirby, do you have, I thought that's Kirby's face. Let's see here. All right, so if you guys are curious, by the way, all I'm looking for here, category, so let's say like I want to do science and technology. All right, and I don't care about the things for kids. I don't care about music channels. I only want to do US. Okay, so the search here, there's another one called oneof10.com. that's a little better than view stats. I pulled this one up because it's free. But 1of10.com, basically you can just search in there for the categories that you do, and it'll show you the top videos on like an endless scroll. I'm sorry, you guys hear me okay? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had the thing pop up. It'll give this endless scroll of packaging and headlines. And so what we do is, I'll show you what it looks like for us. Are you guys digging this in the chat here? Let's see. Oh, here we go. So this is what it looks like for us here. So I see they give me this and they're like, okay, these are outliers. We can see these are 16.6x outliers, 27.8x outliers compared to the channel average. And so they pull these together and they're like, okay, is there a version of this that we can do, right? Can we pull off some don't launch a second product without watching this video. Don't buy a new iPhone without watching this video. Let's see here. Man, they put a lot in here recently. So we just look at this and try how to make the greatest comeback of your life, how to make the greatest comeback, revenue screenshot, maybe something business related. And so they'll put their notes in here of okay, these ones are working really well. Like 10 rules for making your first million was an adaptation of, these videos where we see these outliers. Okay, so for everybody, as you guys are going through this, the order of operations, if you're making content, is you pick your big idea first, right? A lot of people are like, what am I going to make today? It's start with the topic, figure out the packaging, and then you make the video. And then for you, you'll have it planned out, and then we'll do the integrations. You'll know what your 2 or 3 integrations are going to be, and then when you put your pinned comment, make it relevant. Okay. So I think that was a detour, but I think it was important enough for people who make content. Okay. So all right. So now everyone gets to here. All right. So price increases at 1.7K. Cool. Okay. So we have a little urgency there. Automator, get you light years ahead. Okay. Okay. Nice. Let's see. We've got.
It's good to get this roasted live on.
No, you're good. It's fine. I would probably not call them by the name of the community because they're not there yet. So I'd probably call out business owner or whatever you want to be more specific about the avatar. I think I would probably use as my thing here. I would probably put this price increase lower, probably around the CTA at the bottom, because I'm not considering buying yet. I'm seeing if this is for me right now. So I would have headline around the avatar, and then I would still follow the same kind of proof promise plan setup, which is it is not in that order. So it's promises, we're gonna help you do this thing. The proof is we have we have a bunch of people. I think this is actually really strong. This is me being a not super tech person that's super interesting. I think if you can talk about, because do you have a lot of business owners?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because right now I would be talking about money saving. So what are the pains that a business owner experiences? Is you can cut down your your low cost labor by 50% if you just learn some of these tools. I wouldn't put that number in, but I'd be like, you can dramatically decrease the amount of employees that you need to have, and they'll do better, and they'll never get sick, and they'll never have sexual harassment claims, and they'll never ask for workers' comp or liability, right? So it's what are the pains associated? Imagine having all of the things that you need without having endless meetings. So get more into the perspective of the business owner. What are all the pains business owners go through? So this is kind of so this is me doing integration, right? So inside of the offers book, right, I would pull it off and be we talk about the list of all the problems. I think listing out the problems would be really valuable. And I would probably split test a version of this where it says problem, arrow, solution. So it's for to get rid of meetings and all that stuff, this is I would want to be specific about the problems that I'm gonna help them solve. Because I think the more specific you can be, the more compelling this copy will be. Because generic automation in general, I understand I should do it, but I don't know what things I can automate. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Because that makes perfect. I think that one of the things we consider is the fact that we have a couple of different avatars. Some are
Okay.
business owners, really successful business owners that want to crush it, but we also have aspiring entrepreneurs that want to make their first $2,000, $5,000 online, and the kind of things they look for are very different. So when I was writing that, one of my thoughts is how do we capture both? I mean, we could just list that out as what we're. That's why it reads as generic and some.
So I would do entrepreneurs as the headline, because that'll cover both, right?
Yeah.
People identify with it, even if they're not, whatever. And then I would probably go for promise. And then the pain side, you're going to go individual and then business. So it's like individually, here's all the pains you solve by having these automations. At a business level, these are all the things that translates to.
Okay. That's nice.
So it's like if I help you do this one thing, that's great. At a business level, that one thing translates to this, which then is future pacing for somebody who's aspiring and present day for somebody who's at that level. Does that make sense?
That's really tasty, actually.
Okay. So that's just on the copy stuff. I'll look at the video in a second. Let's see here. A lot of these. I hate saying this, but I would probably, let's see here. Hold on. I'll give you my actual, I love the meetup pictures. That's really cool. I actually really like this. Okay. I would probably cut out the social, like all of this underneath of these, this stuff, because it's really noisy in terms of like eyes. And I would probably use some marker or something, like not actual marker, but like digital marker to highlight what I want someone to read. Just so that would just be like a small thing that I would consider doing. I think this is really strong. I would probably put this first.
Wow. Okay.
Because it's real life. You know what I mean? Like, and I would probably put like some banner here that says, the best IA community in the world, something like that. I think that, because this is like cool, like real people, artificial intelligence.
I'd write that down. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see.
Hey there, it's Jack. AI and automations is changing the world right now. And if you can give me 90 seconds, I'd love to show you how this group might be able to help you. I wanted to start with results. We pride ourselves on being the stuff that works. Christine, for example, made her first 10K month only 54 minutes ago. I built 2 separate businesses now from 0 to 50K a month. I absolutely love AI and automation. We're about the latest AI and incredible automations. But fundamentally, it is only about the stuff that actually works. Whether you want to make a 6-figure income with AI, you want to streamline your existing business, or you just want to make cool stuff. Kind of like this SpongeBob. Every time I go to a new country, there's like multiple people who come tell me, at least 3 that say, dude, I made X amount of money with automations. When I was in Frankfurt, someone told me they made like 18K selling with tone of voice AI automations. It's in every single country that I go to, whether it's like 10K getting the first clients or whatever it is. It's stuff that works. Anybody can do this regardless of the skill level and where you're at with them. So for example, just picking out some results. Glenn made 20K that week selling AI automations. I had someone tell me only 3 days ago, they didn't even try to sell automations. They just said, hey, 7 business owners, what do you think of this? And they said, I want to buy it. He was like, it's not even for sale yet. We really pride ourselves on getting the framework and the automations that are best in class and don't exist anywhere else. So you can crush it. Inside the group, here's what you get. You get me. So basically for $50 or whatever the price currently is, you get me working for you full time, all day, every day. So you don't have to sit down and figure stuff out. I go out and I do that for you. I look at the latest tech and I build the cool stuff that'll help you smash it. And you get head of tech, you get a onboarding manager, you get 5 tech support calls every week. We can give you 100% solution guarantee or your money back. So if you're struggling with something, we will help you figure it out to make sure you can get flying. We do monthly cash prizes, we do competitions, we like to have a rock and roll good time inside the group. As well, obviously, it's exclusive content that you can't find on YouTube. And we have a level system where you can earn points as you basically add value to the group and speak to other people, basically getting thousands of software all the way up to free lifetime membership. Think of Skool as like a little bit like Reddit on steroids, right? 2 days ago, introduced himself, 55 comments, 28 likes. The support calls in my diary every Friday. We have business masterminds with me where we can sit down and ask any question you want about how you go from where you're at now to where you want to get to. Every week we have these beautiful masterclasses with experts in different areas, whether it's copywriting, LinkedIn, Facebook ads, any social media thing you want to. In the classroom section, we have to start here. Here I'll show you how you can save money in the membership. So if you go for annual, you get a really cool discount, you get exclusive trainings. On top of that, you get a really sick looking avatar. Then we have every AI automation. This is every single automation I do on the channel, as well as loads of exclusive ones that you can't find anywhere else. And you select one, so you want to like making money, voice, social media, you can come down, you can basically just download it and upload that to make and get the entire blueprint loaded for you automatically. Or you could, Frankenstein and build your own, which many people do. And we've got all the agents and all the resources, of course, there on top of that. We've got masterclasses that I told you about. So in here, you've got things like growth hacking YouTube from people with millions of subscribers. We've got high ticket sales, community growth, neuromarketing, you name it. We give you the depth, but we also want to give you breadth. So you can get good exposure to help accelerate whatever in particular your goals are. And then we've got community automations. But what's really cool is a leveling system that sits in Skool. So when you come in, you will be a fax machine. You start at 0, you get nothing, you deserve nothing. But as you level up in the community from speaking to people and adding value, you start to unlock things. There's a core benefit at every level, as well as hidden bonuses that you'll find out. So for example, level 4, you get $10,000 of software. Level 5, you get an exclusive call with me every month as a trailblazer. You unlock avatars, all the way up to free lifetime membership. If you think it's going to be too valuable in your journey, I'd love to be on the inside. Or whatever price it is that you pay.
All right. Okay. So big picture, I don't think it's bad. So just so you know, big exhale there. I think it's actually a little overwhelming. The thing that I keep thinking about is like, so by the way, for everybody who's listening to this, like the way that people buy is like they are interested and then they immediately have an objection, and it just sits in their brain until it gets answered. And if it gets answered, they buy, right? And so, because rather than try to like edit this or something, I think if I try to ask myself like, what would I do to try and advertise this, right? Like, what would I try and do? I would probably have some sort of metaphor or analogy that gets brought up. And I would probably also promise their first like automation can get done in less than 5 minutes. Because the big thing that I have is like overwhelm, and this seems complicated. And so you're like, if you think about value equation, right? Like the big ones for you are going to be I mean, honestly, there's a lot of them because you have risk, time, and hard. And so I would be thinking about that from this bucket, which is like AI is incredibly intimidating if you don't know what you're doing. And this group is to help you know what you're doing. And so there's 3 components to making AI work. One is to actually do stuff that helps you in your life rather than neat tricks. That's the risk component. The second thing is that it actually is to do it in a way that doesn't take you oodles and oodles of time or make you feel like you have to become a software programmer. And the third is that everyone should be able to start as long as you can watch this on a phone right now and you have an internet connection, we can walk you through it. With the first one, the first automation I'm going to show you how to do is going to make this group even more valuable for you, and you can do it in less than 5 minutes, and the first thing we're going to have you do. Because a lot of this is we want to take something that feels really intimidating, breaking it into tiny chunks so that you can actually start taking steps. Now, in the spirit of talking about steps, we can go all the way through these levels, which I'll show you, but like, I won't get too much into that because right now you haven't made your first automation yet, or maybe you have. But let me just talk to you about the types of automations or the types of problems that we help you solve, right? So, and by the way, all these problems that we will help you solve for a business are things that if you're a business owner are valuable to you, or if you want to sell these to a business are valuable to sell, right? So it works the same whether you're trying to sell these services or you want to use these services, it works the same way. So like this, I'm just thinking like, how would I pitch this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and listen, you probably just saw me on the internet. So let me just show you some of the pictures of our meetups of people who've been in the community. And this is me showing the pictures and that's me, right? Yeah, real person. But the next thing is that you're probably wondering about is like, this is me literally off the cuff, but that's probably what my introduction would look like. Which is, okay, well, you're probably wondering, well, how many people like actually do stuff that works? Well, like, here's one. And like, instead of being shorter about it, I would tell the narrative a little bit more. Like, this is Sandy. She struggled with X. She had tried Y. It didn't work. And then I'm Guru on the Hill comes in. Story changes. She used this automation, which you can find right here. And this automated her front desk. This is John. Now, can you imagine selling to the business owner or being a business owner and having that? Amazing. And here's her saying, oh my God, this changed my life. Now, here's John. John was trying to solve this. He struggled. And then he used this plugin, which I'm now showing you. And this is what he was able to help him do. And then I would basically show that. And it's like, listen, I just showed you 10 of 100 different automations that we have. And so whether you're trying to automate marketing, sales, front desk, customer support, conversion rate optimization, topic searching, any of these things, I can show you how to do it so that it's like having a minimum wage employee, except you don't have to worry about sexual harassment, unemployment, interviews, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so that's probably how it's structured. And so now I probably have someone in consideration mode. And it's like, cool, listen, I know that there's a lot of stuff on the internet and we pride ourselves on having, a really good community. It's really tight. And so here's the deal. Come on in. We have 100% solution guarantee. And so the first thing you're going to do, and I would show them. So in the video, I don't know if you show it or not. I didn't watch the last 10 seconds, but so what you're going to do is you're going to click the button that's over here. I'm going to share my screen to show you what it's going to do, like what you're going to have to do. You're going to click this button and then the thing pops up. And what I want you to do is I want you to put in the automation that you want us to help you with. All right, what the automation you put there, as long as it's with one of these 5 categories, we'll make sure that you hit it. And if you don't, just ask and we'll give you your money back if you're dissatisfied with what we have. Because now you're saying, I will literally help you solve this problem. And I think in your onboarding, you can point them to those, to where, you know what I'm saying? Like you can point them to where that automation lives. And then you say, so the first thing we're going to do when you get in is 2 automations. The first one is to get your first automation out of the way so we tear the Band-Aid off. The second is we'll help you start working on what you need to get the one big problem that you have solved.
Wow. I think that is exceptional. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, because I think that follows the process somebody would be thinking in. I think my video hits notes, but in a jumbled order. I think it gets romantic about all the stuff it offers, not maybe where they're thinking in the journey as they come on, as they're onboarding.
And you're using, and this is super common because like you're very familiar with the topic, but the person who's coming like might have just seen one video and was like, I need to learn some shit about this. Right? Like I'm that type of user right now. I'm actually, I'll tell you more about it offline, but I'm in the market. And so like, this is very, it was just fortuitous that Kirby brought your thing up. But like, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm like, how much time is this going to take me? How hard is this going to be? Like, how likely is it that I have a bullshit thing that doesn't actually work? Or is this really going to solve the problem completely? Right. So it's like, it actually provides value to me. Right. And so I would be, because fundamentally AI is very easy to sell that it can help you make money and that it can save you time. Like, so all like, you don't need to promise anything because anybody who's coming into this already knows the promise of an automated human being. Everything is going to be around the downside, which is going to be how long, how hard, how risky. And so that's what basically the majority of this is going to be about. And then you hit the narratives for kind of specific case studies. And I think you can get out of income claim and things like that by just having like narratives where they're like, man, my life changed, man, my life changed. Because the thing is at $67 a month, you don't need to promise really any income claims. If you can just convince someone that they can learn something, they can use that learning and then go make money.
Yeah.
And then the very end is going to be risk reversal and then being very specific about the problem that you're going to help them solve.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, so that's going to probably, the VSL is going to be the biggest lever here. I'm going to finish it just so we, are you guys finding this useful? All right, let's see this. Here we go.
And you sign up will be the maximum that you ever pay. So even if the price of the group increases as you grow, you'll be locked in and grandfathered in at that price. And obviously you can reduce it annually if you want to, but you'll never pay more than you do than when you join. I hope you found this interesting, and I look forward to catching you inside the community. Hey there, it's Jack.
Yeah, so you want to finish with very clear next steps and a command.
Okay.
Right, and you want to demonstrate, this is for everybody. Every ad, every VSL, you want to tell them exactly what to do next. So you say like, so we reached the end of the video. If you want to help solve that problem and you would like a guarantee from us that we can help you solve it, watch, I'll show you exactly what you need to do. So you're going to click the button that says join group. It's going to pop up a thing. You're going to go in there. You're going to put your information in, click here. Now, let me show you what the inside is going to be about. All right. So the first thing you're going to do as soon as you get on the inside is you're going to book your onboarding call. And that's where we're going to hop on the phone with you to help you solve that problem that you just said you had. And we're going to point you in the right direction so you know what things to do. And then after that, we can basically keep hopping on with you on all of these scheduled calls to make sure you solve it. So now that's like it's a journey, right? We're leading them through, and all of this has been around the problem that you're going to help them solve. I do think that your guarantee is the most compelling part of the offer right now.
Okay.
Which is great. So let's see here. In terms of copy, I would probably take the word bonus out and just put bonus at the top and then just put these underneath because it gets kind of repetitive.
Okay.
Like my eyes don't want to read the whole thing, if that makes sense. So it's like put bonuses and then put it, you know what I'm saying? Like
Stack them down.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah. Lifetime membership. See, the thing is like lifetime membership at level 9, like I don't know what it means. Like I have no idea what lifetime membership at number 9 means. Weekly tech support calls, cool. Automation requests, not actually sure what that means. Exclusive make apps, not super sure what that means. Weekly calls, how is that different than these? So this is so try and translate these into the problems they solve. So it's like weekly tech support calls so that if you get stuck throughout the week, we can help you move forward. I would say like personalized automation requests, so that if there's something that we don't have in there, we'll add it to the queue and we'll help you build it out live.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like each of these, we just want to translate into what is it like? What's in it for me, right? WWFIM. Like why do I care? I think you can probably eliminate this one, or like, yeah, because level 9, no one even knows what it means. So free lifetime membership.
I think the purpose in getting that is like a journey with rewards. Like it's like that's kind of like
I'll say this. This doesn't get me to buy. This gets me to stay.
Yeah.
I would take this out of the sales page because it's not like I don't buy because I might someday get it lifetime free. I'm trying to decide whether I want to spend $67 today right now. So put that in the onboarding.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I take this out, I put that in the onboarding. We stack these bonuses, weekly tech support roles. I would even be willing to cut out this worth thing and just say like what it actually gets them, like so that you don't get stuck. And I would say like 3 times a week, right? Automation, I'd say like I would put the word personalized here, personalized automation requests, so that if we don't have something, we'll make it for you. Cool. Exclusive make apps. I don't know what this actually means. Why would I need this?
Yeah, so this is like unique software. This is like the software lock-ins. We build like unique apps that they can access in the community that if you're not part of the group. It's like that itself should be worth a membership based on the stuff that we do.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, trying to get me to buy it. So sell me on it. Instead of telling me what it is, sell me on it.
Okay, so we have like unique apps and technologies that can drive you revenue and like simplify your life. That if you were to build yourself would be like prohibitive. Basically, it's just like additional bonuses and softwares that you can't get external or you'd have to pay for.
Okay. So I would probably use the first half of that.
Yeah.
And say like, we have custom built software that you would either have to build yourself or you'd have to buy, both of which would cost more than the entirety, a year's worth of doing this. And we have 11 of them so that out of the box, you can use them to solve specific problems like parentheses, this, and have to translate in a way that somebody who doesn't understand anything about this would get.
Okay, yeah, it presumes a lot of knowledge, some of these things.
Dude, most of this presumes knowledge. That's the thing. So I think you're coming with a lot of warm traffic, but I'll bet you if you break this down and you do these things, like this, I would put near the end. That's like around the money back guarantee thing is where I put that. I would eliminate lifetime because that's about sticking. I would change this to entrepreneurs. We'll get your light years ahead. I would cut because it's not going to make me buy. I honestly would probably cut this. And then I would have, you want to have pain and you want to have promise, right? So this is pain. We're going to solve your pain, right? Second, it's like, we're going to help you promise.
Yeah.
And okay, my make automation systems, blueprints, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of this is features. I would just be talking about what I could help them do as a result. So this is classic plane flight versus Maui.
Okay.
Like I want to talk more about Maui. And this is kind of, I would say, throughout the sales page and this videos in general. Like, show me what I can do now. Like, I'll bet you if you took one of these slides over here and made it, and put one of these as things like costs you can replace, and then you put a stack of like 10 costs that you can replace that are monthly costs for a business or a person, and just had icons with costs. And if you want, you could put one testimonial around how someone replaced that cost. That would be very compelling. And then probably another card that's like things we can teach you, like things we will teach you to do.
Yeah.
Right. Like, tell me what I'm going to learn. I want to know what I'm going to be able to do. Like, can I, like, I know, I literally have a list of, these are the automations I think I want to build. Like right now I have it. And so if yours match up any of mine, literally one of them, I'd be like, cool. It's like, if you can help anyone do one automation, it's worth it.
Yeah.
That actually automates any real thing in business.
Yeah, because mine reads like the how, not the what. It's like how I get you to
Yeah,
where
it's
you-
all vehicle, not destination.
vehicle, yeah.
So if you're gonna do vehicle, include so that destination, right? But I think that like if we're looking at the meaty bits here, I think a lot of this is because you have good traffic from YouTube, that this is why this is like it's still working. And I don't want to make you feel bad or anything. That's not my point.
No, it's good. The more there is to improve, the better. It works in spite of the vehicle. Yeah.
So these are me just saying like, and not all of these things might work, but like this is how I would be thinking about it. So we already talked about the changes that I would probably make conceptually to the video instead of lots of little things. I think big picture, you could probably just take the transcription that I basically spoke out loud and probably model that. I think this is fine. I would cut out the distractions, highlight the parts I want people to know. I would highlight that this is, the best AI community, that these are actually community members. It sounds obvious, but like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So just like spell it out. I would use 2 of these slides. I would probably save, because we already gave proof. I would replace these with proof around the problems that are being solved. So, and the savings, and then, so one of them is savings. The other one is skills. And then I think, this is fine for like what's inside. I think this is okay. I would put this one last. Yeah. Okay. So let's hear. If you're serious about AI and automation, this community. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'd cut all this. This comes up. I add it, like what you'll get. I'd probably be like what you'll be able to do. And then I'd be talking about what someone can do, because all the difference between all of these is still, this is all basically the core offer, right? So I want these to explain to me what these will help me do or stop doing. What good stuff will I now have or bad stuff will I avoid? You could even break it into those 2 sections. I do think this feels like detail, so I'm okay with this. This we can probably drop because they can already see the number of members here and above, so you can cut that. I think this is good. After this is where I'd put the price. And I really like this line, but just a version of that, which I'd put here, because I would want to put my last thing. I do like the don't get left behind. I'd want to have some sort of like, if I could TLDR this whole thing, it's like, what would I say? It'd probably be like a few statements in a row and a conclusion. So probably like, businesses that don't use the internet are fucked. I would say that, right? Like businesses that didn't adopt the internet got left behind. The problem with AI is that it's going to be adopted at 10 times the rate of the internet. And so overnight, it's going to feel like industries will change. And as intimidating as this may seem, you have to learn it. Whether it's from us or someone else, we just happen to have made, we think, one of the best curriculums for getting anyone at any starting point to solve the most pressing problems of their business with AI. And then I'd probably just make my final CTA, which is like, go sign up for the group. And like schedule your call. Can't wait to meet you and help you solve your problem.
Yeah, well, that's phenomenally helpful. That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say apart from, that's excellent. Thank you.
No, you bet. Okay, so what? So YouTube's pretty much all the traffic, correct?
Yeah.
And that's where all the traffic is going to. Nice how simple the business is, right? What other, is there any other monetization, or that's the whole thing?
No, I mean, there'll be some referrals and stuff that we can't track, but I'd estimate that to be like in the low single-digit percentages, at least like 95% of YouTube. We've started to flirt with Instagram, flirt with TikToks in a way that doesn't diminish any investment on YouTube. And we have seen some trickle flow come through there, but 95%, like ish, I'd say is YouTube, yeah.
So Yeah, go ahead.
I know I was going to say, 'cause one of my questions was around those roles to invest in. So, for instance, do we hire a head of tech who's responsible for X and LinkedIn and these platforms that takes my content and makes a text version of it, or like an Instagram strategy role or something?
You just get an AI agent.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, there's a lot we can do with that for sure. But one of my thoughts is like we don't know how to scale on some of these platforms. Like, well, we have an idea, but like I want to shortcut that like kind of journey down quite a lot. So I'm happy to pay for some expertise there.
Yeah, I would. So I think there's two options. Like, I guess there's three, but at least that I would consider. So one is that you could just buy someone. I'm sure there's probably a community on here that like teaches LinkedIn strategy, and you can probably just join that, and that probably give you a good start. The second idea is that you could just hire an agency, and that's how I tend to do these things. Is I hire agencies, and then I just figure out what they're doing, and then I just deconstruct it, and then I do it myself. I like agencies. They cost more, but they're faster because I immediately get the result, and then I can get the skill as time goes on, rather than having to learn the skill for however long it takes and then begin getting the result. So it's like I get results faster, and then I can learn faster too, because they're already going to start me on the right path rather than me having to go trial and error. Mm-hmm. So that's obviously it's a money decision. It's money for time, but that's usually the path that I go. Option 3 is that you find somebody who you can bring in who does LinkedIn really well. I would bet the first two paths are probably going to be your better bet.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because for somebody who's really good, it's going to be a decent chunk of change. And at that level, I think you'd be better off with one or two.
Okay. Yeah. I think like we're doing more and doing better on the YouTube side. I think the systems we want to put in place in terms of the ideas and some like pre-workflow stuff we can do to kind of make that slicker. I just think there's so much more opportunity in YouTube still.
I think there's a ton of opportunity on YouTube. I think it's packaging. I didn't even talk about that. We have 5 minutes. Let's talk about that. So packaging, we're still going to use winners as the primary, like, so you're not putting too many words in, so that's good.
Yeah.
Game changer, AI agents.
I feel I can position my videos to somebody who's like really familiar with the terminology or really top of funnel, like language they understand. Like, I feel like if I want to go really viral, I kind of like, I can write the title in so many different ways. It's about who I want to bring in.
Yeah.
Like RAG you wouldn't understand RAG unless you know a bit more about AI. So that's actually going to have like quite a tight appeal.
Yeah, I have no idea what it means.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100% automated. I wouldn't use that because it doesn't like tell me 100K. I don't know what any of this shit means.
Yeah.
Seriously, I have no idea what any of this means. Mm-hmm. So unlimited reel. So look at this. This is the only one I understood. It has the most views, right? So like, yeah, like that made sense, right? That made sense to me. I don't think you need I'm not sure if the icons are necessary because they do add a lot to the visual. I also think you might want to consider changing the background instead of having so many colors because it's a lot visually. Because you never want to have more than 3 visual elements just for a thumbnail. And so it's like you're 1, words are 2, and it's like and something, right? Mm-hmm. And so the background is already 1. We want to cut that out. All right, we have 17 people. Let's see here, personal assistant. Yeah, I think this one is compelling. The only problem is that it's not believable because I've seen like 100 of these. You know what I mean? So I think talking about the tasks that someone will be able, that's what like unlimited reels, like I think that talking about the tasks, that would allow you to have endless variety because there's a gazillion human tasks that exist and that it immediately promises the benefit of the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would simplify the background to 1 color.
Okay.
I think the number of words you're using is right. I think the words you're using themselves are not, but I think the number of words you're using is right. And then in terms of headlines, can it make my automations steal this micro AI SaaS? Yeah, because like steal this micro AI SaaS and 100% automated, that's duplicative. Like you never, the thumbnail only serves to complement the headline. It should never be repetitive of the headline. So it's like, sales masterclass, and then the thing is, it shouldn't say like how to sell. That's just duplicative, right? As your thumbnail, you want the thumbnail to say something like 3-second opener. So it's like, oh, it's a compliment, or like everyone is wrong. So it's either contrarian. It's like, oh, it's not like spinach is bad for you. You're like, what? Like, it's got to be something that's either contrarian to the headline, like everyone expects you're going to talk about this, but you're actually like, it's not that at all. Or it's a nuance that adds texture to the headline that you have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, don't make them duplicative. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, you have a lot of automation in the headline, like 100% automated, 100% automated, right? Like I think, yeah, you have a lot of duplication here. This AI system creates unique lead magnets.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know at a glance what each of them do, like from this homepage. I'm getting that. Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
you can barely see them too in terms of how big they are.
Yeah,
and so I think the ChatGPT icon is recognizable, and so you can use that a bunch. I think, but I probably wouldn't do much else. And I would probably experiment with you and like a robot or something like that to see like if I could have a version of this thumbnail is like you and a robot, and then the task is clear that they're doing.
Yeah, that's such a different way of thinking about it. Yeah.
Because the thing is the task is going to give you the visual that can make these unique and different. Because otherwise, it's like all of them would just be a computer screen. So it's like we have to talk about what the automation does, not the automation itself. And I think that's probably the biggest shift that has to happen across everything is like, what does it get me?
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah, the destination on the vehicle.
Yeah. I could jump, but hopefully you guys dug this and this was helpful. The deep dive experience. And AI Jack, appreciate you.
Man. Everyone had the marshmallows out. Appreciate it, Alex. Thank you. That was really helpful.
All right, see you, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Recording stopped.